Why on earth does AP World start in 1200, AP Euro start in 1450, and APUSH start in 1491? Is the College Board just throwing darts at a calendar, or is there actually a method to the madness? Welcome back to the AP History Help podcast. I'm Wendy, and this is episode 64, the Unit 1 Vibe Check. Today we are taking a 10 to 15 minute satellite view of the planet around the time of the Unit 1s. By the end of this episode, you're going to understand why these start dates exist, what was happening everywhere right before the world collided, and how connecting these dots will give you an instant cheat code for your essay contextualization points this year. Contextualization, you're going to see that all over your AP history class. It is a historical reasoning process. It is a major point on the DBQ and the LEQ. And you have to know context for everything. Like, how do we get to this place in time? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Grab your notebook, grab your coffee or beverage of choice. Let's jump in.
And history's a lot. Books piled high, time runs thin. Wendy's here to get you in a shapy world, AP Euro 2. One clear path for me and you. 15 minutes, that's all we need. Feet connect and scores take seed. Write it sharp, make it stick. Wendy's got the rubric trick. AP History Help. AP History Help. Wendy's got your back. AP History Help.
Now, while you're grabbing that beverage of choice, this is a good opportunity to make sure that you are following me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Substack, YouTube, Twitter. Everywhere you go, you will find me at AP History Help. Follow me, interact with me. You'll get updates more than just once a week on the world of AP history. All right. Let's address the elephant in the classroom, the start dates. If you're taking more than one AP history class, or even if you're just looking at the textbooks, these different starting lines can feel super confusing. But there's a very specific historical logic behind each one. Now, AP World starts in circa 1200, circa, as in like circle, which means you go around the circle. So circa means like little letter C period means you around 1200. That's when we're starting with AP World. So why does AP World start circa 1200? Because around 1200, Afro-Eurasia, which is the big land mass that refers to Africa, Europe, and Asia. Anyway, Afro-Eurasia was dominated by thriving regional networks of exchange, the Silk Road, Indian Ocean trade, and trans-Saharan trade routes. And starting in 1200, it lets you see the rise of the Mongol Empire, which basically glued the Eastern Hemisphere together and set up the global trade system that everyone was trying to reach later on. Now, AP Euro starts circa 1450. Why 1450? This is the pivot point for the Middle Ages into early modern era. Around 1440 to 1450, Johannes Gutenberg invented the movable type printing press, sparking an information revolution, arguably the most important invention in history. So in 1453, the Hundred Years' War ends and the Ottoman Empire conquers Constantinople, and Europe is pulling itself out of the devastation of the Black Death and stepping squarely into the Renaissance. Now, AP US history starts in 1491. Like, here's a side note here. AP US history does not do circa. AP pushes like, this is the date. And there's a reason for all of the dates that start and end the units, FYI. Now, APUSH starts in 1491. Notice it is 1491, not 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue. The College Board specifically chose the year before Christopher Columbus landed in the Caribbean to make a crucial point. North and South America were not an empty, untouched wilderness waiting to be discovered. 1491 is all about understanding the massive diversity, the complex agriculture, and the rich cultures of the indigenous people before European contact changed the Western Hemisphere forever. So if you put them together, world gives you the global background, Euro gives you the European motivations, and APUSH gives you the American reality. Quick plug time. There is still time to sign up and be a member of the core cohort, an opportunity to meet with me and a few other students live every week to practice and get feedback for your EP history class. I have an APUSH and an AP World group that is currently accepting limited enrollments for this school year. And not only will we meet weekly, but if you can't make it, you do get the recordings. Plus, you will have access to my full on-demand success library with rubrics and resources and blueprints and all kinds of resources that I update every single week that will help you to succeed in your AP history class. But once the cohort is full, I won't be able to take new enrollments until maybe, hopefully, January. To find out more, just go to aphistoryhelp.com. And if you're still not sure, you can get a free parent and student resource guide with tips for success. Yep, totally free, no obligation. I'm also offering free 10-minute strategy calls to make sure that you are choosing the right academic support to determine what you could still do either with me or on your own. Again, no obligation. Whether you are listening or watching, just go to aphistoryhelp.com or click on the link in the description of this episode. Now, spots are starting to fill up for both the core cohort and the free 10-minute strategy calls. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you one way or another. Now, let's do our global vibe check. Imagine we're floating in space in the year 1480, looking down at the world through a telescope. What does the planet Earth actually look like right before the global convergence? So let's do a quick lightning lap around the globe. Starting in the Americas, we have a little bit of overlap with APUSH and AP World. In Mesoamerica, the Aztec Empire at the capital of Tenochtitlan is at the height of its power, building massive engineering marvels, floating gardens called chinampas, and they're dominating trade through a tributary system. Further south along the Andes, the Incan Empire is running a vast, highly centralized state connected by thousands of miles of roads using the Mita labor system. Now, up in North America, you have these incredibly diverse societies that are shaped by their environments. Pueblo builders in the Southwest using complex irrigation, Mississippians building massive urban mound complexes like Cahokia, and Iroquois nations in the Northeast forming political confederations. In East Asia and the Indian Ocean, we see this AP world anchor. In China, the Ming Dynasty has kicked out the Mongols and restored traditional Confucianism and civil service exams. They've recently wrapped up Zheng He's massive treasure fleet voyages and turned inward, focusing on rebuilding the Great Wall and collecting taxes and silver. China is the undisputed economic engine of the world. At this time, everyone wants their silk, their tea, and their porcelain. In the Middle East and in North Africa, in 1453, the Ottoman Empire conquers Constantinople, officially ending the Byzantine Empire and turning the city from Constantinople to Istanbul. The Ottomans now control the golden crossroads of trade between Europe and Asia. And in Western Europe, we see the AP Euro anchor. They're feeling squeezed. right? Because the Ottomans control the land routes to Asia. European merchants are paying huge taxes to get luxury goods. And monarchs in France and England and Spain are consolidating their power. Think Ferdinand and Isabella uniting Spain in the 1480s. They are desperate to find a direct sea route to Asian markets so they can cut out the Ottoman middlemen. So Portugal starts creeping down the coast of Africa while Spain decides they're going to take a gamble and sail west. All right, so here's where it all comes together, the synergy hack for your essays, right? This is why the global vibe check is your secret weapon for the exam. When you write a DBQ or an LEQ essay for any of these three subjects, the very first point on the rubric is contextualization. It's the Star Wars crawl, setting the stage for your essay. If you get a question on APUSH Unit 1 about Spanish colonization, your context isn't just Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Your context is 1453. You write about the Ottoman control of trade routes, driving the European nations to seek new maritime paths to Asia. Boom, context point earned. If you get a question in AP Euro about the Renaissance or the Age of Discovery, your context includes the collapse of feudalism and the desire for new wealth following the fall of Constantinople. Boom, point earned. If you get a question in AP World about global silver trade, you pull in Ming China's demand for silver alongside of European maritime expansion. You know the routine. Boom, point earned. It's all the exact same story. Stop treating these classes like isolated islands and start treating them like chapters in the same giant book. Before we go, it is time for our weekly human teenager biohack. Last week, I talked about how to stay focused and eliminate distractions. As school kicks into gear this month, your brain is going to feel overloaded with facts, dates, syllabus rules, teachers' names, new kids' names, all right? So here's your action item for this week. We're going to call it the 5-minute brain dump. A lot of times teachers have you do that, right? Like they teach something, they're like, okay, 5-minute brain dump. Well, before you sit down to study or go to sleep, take a blank piece of paper and spend exactly 5 minutes, set a timer, writing down every single thing stressing you out. Not just something you learned in one class, but everything that is on your mind. Get it all out. Piece of paper, homework, history dates, practice schedules, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Physically dumping those thoughts onto a piece of paper, out of your head, onto paper, frees up your brain's working memory so you can actually focus, retain information, sleep better, and ultimately feel a little bit lighter. Try it out tonight. Let me know how you think it works. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 64. The vibe check helped clear up Unit 1, hopefully, for you. Do me a big favor. Share this episode with a classmate or tell your history teacher about AP History Help. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to help this community grow. Now, don't forget to head over to my website to, at the very least, grab your free 10 tips for AP History Success Guide, or check out and see if joining our core cohort group might be in your future. Next week, we are jumping with 2 feet into how to read a textbook without face planting. Some active reading and note-taking for busy teens, or really anyone. And with that, this episode of the AP History Help podcast is now history.
And history's a lot. Books piled high, time runs thin. Wendy's here to get you in AP shapely world, AP Euro 2. One clear path for me and you. 15 minutes, that's all we need. Heat, connect, and scores take seed. Write it sharp, make it stick. Wendy's got the ain't what it's supposed to mean. You bring the doubt, she brings the plan. One step forward, you know you can. Patterns line up across the years. Turn those essays into wins. Clear and calm, ready now. Wendy shows you how. Maybe history help. Maybe history help. Wendy's got your back. Maybe history help. Maybe history help. Learn it fast, stay on track. From empire roads to founding lines to Europe's turning tides. One weekly guide, one steady voice,